Poker is a game of caged emotions. When 1,233 people lie between you and victory, and you've been grinding it out for 4 grueling days, you remain stone-faced and resolute. As masters of the game fall and new stars rise. But now, you're just 16 eliminations away from the ultimate arena. It's time to get emotional.
Are you kidding me?
Season 10 of the PokerStars.com EPT has proved to be a global affair. 64 countries were represented at the beginning of the Barcelona main event, and here on day 5, there's still an astonishing 17 nations in the running. Germany started with the lead at 11% of the field, and continues today with 3 players still in the hunt. For the second year running, 2 Finns are going deep. Spain has 2 chances left for their first title. And the Brits are relying on Neil Farrell and Tom Middleton to get the job done. Last time, last lady standing Jamila von Perga hit her miracle 1-outer.
I can't believe this. It's so amazing.
55 fell to the wayside. Night drew to a close with Neil Farrell busting Martin Stashko. And once again, Tom Middleton was top of the leaderboard. So we are down to the final 24.
Let's just round it. Call it 2 dozen.
Okay. And day 5 could be a long day as we play down from 24 to the final 8.
Let's just round it. Call it 8.
That's what I said.
Still going strong are the last woman standing, a Lithuanian looking to make back-to-back Barcelona final tables, and an online beast who goes by the handle Hit the Hole.
That beast, Tom Middleton, is still the tournament chip leader, and he is at our feature table. Tom's one of the most experienced players left in the field, and his confidence is high.
It would be great to win this tournament. €1 million up top. Feeling pretty confident about the situation. I've played a lot of poker, I've got deep in quite a lot of tournaments, so hopefully I'll know what the right things to do in most spots.
Jamila von Perga made it to day 5 after using her 1 time yesterday.
I was so sure it's over now. I thought, okay, you're so deep in the EPT, but now it's over. And then I just prayed, please, please, one time before on the river, and there it was. It was so amazing.
And it wouldn't be a Barcelona main event without a couple of crazy Finns and another appearance from Anaras Alekbarovas.
I think I'm in perfect position. I also was here before, so I'm confident in myself and I do nothing to afraid of.
It's the penultimate day of the €5,000 main event here in Barcelona, and the Finns are in the house, along with the Lithuanian player who's looking to make back-to-back final tables in this tournament. There's the Brits, Neil Farrell and Tom Middleton.
His friends call him Mitty, but his mother calls him Thomas!
Jamila von Perga is at our secondary feature table. Headlining our main feature table is Tom Middleton. He is our qualifier pick. He's in the 1 seat with that monster stack. 2 to his left is another guy who won his seat online, Creston Nielsen, once again wearing his big Toro baseball cap. Blinds, 15,000 and 30,000 with a 4,000 ante.
Come on now, qualifier.
Imagine if you double up, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm going to be, dangerous over here.
I am going to double up.
Yeah, of course, I
Yes.
didn't say it. If you double up, what are you going to do?
I'm going to win the What are you going to do?
Okay, Danish Finspawn, your money, baby.
Action on Alejandro Perez. He folds. Middy's got ace-6 of diamonds.
Yeah, why not? Especially when you got all the chips.
He raises to 60,000. Berglund and Nielsen both fold. Pasi Sormanen. It's 10-7 of spades. He passes. Duty gives up the button. Julian Thomas in the small blind has ace-7 of hearts.
Poor guy's got 6 big blinds. Lucky for him, he's got Mitty crushed.
He moves all in, and he's likely to get called.
How much is it?
195. All right, yeah, well.
Yes, indeed.
Really good spot for Thomas.
As in Julian Thomas, not Thomas Middleton.
That is correct.
6 on the flop,
There's the love. That's good.
but also 2 hearts.
Yeah, that's really not cool.
That was a bad card.
Ace of spades.
Ace of spades would be good, yeah.
We'll chop it.
Ace isn't a chop, bruh.
The river is another 6, a full house for Middleton, and he eliminates Julian Thomas.
Good luck, bro.
Good game.
Good game,
Good
bro.
luck, man.
I would always shake the hand of the guy that sucked out on me, make sure I rub that bad luck right back on him.
So Middleton consolidates his chip lead. 2 other players in the top 5, Perez and Christoforou, are also at our feature table, while Anaras Alekbarovis, who's third in chips, is at our secondary feature table, where the action's been folded to Nicolau Villalobos. He raises from the button, makes it 65k.
Can you put 20 chips in one stack?
Sorry?
Can you put 20 chips in one stack and I can see it? Because I don't know how much is it.
700.
Anaras was pulling this yesterday. He could ask that, but you don't have to comply.
He defends with ace-deuce, and we go, heads up to the flop.
More dominating aces. This one's more likely to end in a chop, though.
Check, check on the flop, a 4 on the turn, 2 pair now for Villalobos.
Great card for Villalobos, but a 9 or a 6, and they still chop it.
Alekbarovis leads the turn for 80,000.
Looks like he thinks his ace is good now. Villalobos was likely checking the flop for a little pot control in case he was dominated, but now he's kind of hoping he was dominated.
He raises, makes it 205,000.
Like the raise, plenty you can get action from.
Alekbarovis calls.
There was an argument for him to fold there, but calling's not terrible, especially at that price.
A deuce on the river. Both players now with 2 pair.
Very bad card for Alekbarovis.
I'm all in.
Villalobos shoves.
This could easily get called. Villalobos has got near the top of his range.
Alekbarovis does call, and he will lose a huge pot.
I wish my name was Nicky Wolftown. You know, and speaking of names, are we sure his name isn't Alekbarovis and Anaras doesn't just mean something like my name is? And what about this guy? Maybe Villalobos is just his hometown.
Let's head over to the outer table. Edouard Bagu has raised from the cutoff. Neil Farrell's in the big blind, and he defends. We're going to a flop. King Jack 6 with 2 spades. Farrell checks to the razor. Bagu checks behind.
Aggression is the name of the game, and as far as checks goes, those were some of the most aggressive I've ever seen.
Ace of spades on the turn. Farrell checks a second time. Delayed C-bet from Bagu, 75,000.
That ace makes this board officially wetter than a haddock's bathing suit.
Farrell calls. 7 of diamonds on the river. Farrell checks again.
I think Bagu likes his hand.
Bagu bets again, 75,000. Farrell calls. Bagu tables ace-6 for 2 pair. It's good.
I don't know what Neil is calling with, but it's hard to not call down anything decent there when Bagu's betting so small and the river's such a brick.
Let's head back to our secondary feature table. Jamila von Perger all in with deuces, and she's gonna get called by Mattis Moore. He's got kings.
2 players, 1 on.
2 times?
There's an 80% chance she goes out on this hand.
Don't stand up.
Not only would I stand up, I'd be out the door. If the deuce hits, they could call me in my room.
Well, she's already used her 1 time.
Ah, the 3.
Close but no cigar. The last lady standing in the EPT Barcelona main event needs a deuce on the river. She doesn't hit, she is out. Busting in 23rd place. A great debut for Jamila von Perger on the European Poker Tour, and hopefully we'll see her in London.
Amen, sister.
It's my first EPT, so it's my first EPT cash, obviously. I'm a little bit proud that I'm the last female, of course. It was amazing to go so deep.
I'm just gonna let that hang there.
Back to the main feature table. Action will be on Michel Eid. He's under the gun. He looks down at King 9.
Nah.
He folds. Creston Nielsen has Ace Jack.
All in.
And he shoves.
11 some odd big blinds.
R.C. Sormanen
Kom så, vamos.
Cerdo Fuego.
folds to the all-in. Duta's out. Cristoforu folds the button. Perez has ace queen in the small blind.
Yeah, buddy.
Good call.
He calls. Middleton folds the big. Showdown.
Now that I understand. James, I speak Danish.
Big Toro all in and dominated.
Så hjerter. You til bare med at flush, okay?
Okay, buddy.
Nielsen needs to get lucky. And he does!
Vamos!
Jack on the flop.
Wow, it's like he knew.
Perez picks up a ton of outs on the turn.
Tion. Oh. It's never easy in poker.
It's a brick. Nielsen doubles up.
El Toro, vamos!
Perez, not a fan.
Så lige min kæreste alligevel, Sorry, sir. I needed that one. El Toros, vamos! Bonus!
You know what? I am a fan.
He's like tequila, kinda gross, but I also wouldn't say no to more.
Admit it, you love a bit of Big Toro. Confess using the hashtag EPT.
No, 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 not the church! Oh, thank God. Literally.
So this is the Sagrada Familia. You know, they've been building this for 131 years.
Boy, I guess they're really serious about that whole siesta thing.
Welcome back to the PokerStars.com EPT here inside Casino Barcelona. And the hometown crowd is loving it. Spain has a lot to be happy about. The weather's beautiful, they still have two contenders in the main event, and Gerard Piqué is performing well on the football field and in the high roller.
And married to...
Shakira, Shakira!
Look at my stacks, they're small and humble.
So you don't confuse them with mountains. Lots of big names in the high roller. As we get back to our feature table in the main event.
So what team are you cheering for?
Well, Leeds United, but
Oh, Leeds.
not much to cheer about anymore.
Not anymore. Oh, well.
Who's your team? Barcelona or?
Nah, yeah, I think it's Spain maybe, but I think it's... Just love watching football, good
Yeah.
games, good goals.
Nah, man, nothing beats a 0-0 tie. Literally.
We have an all-in and a call.
Oh, come on.
Wow, the weather in here is cloudy with a 100% chance of slow roll.
Farrell way behind, but he's not the player at risk. He's still amused by the slow roll.
Me too.
Chanchev set for a double up.
Farrell's probably less amused now.
Oh, but there's karma on the river.
Ugh, I was gonna say going out like that is the worst, but then I remembered nuclear fallout.
A 20th place finish for the Russian. And Neil Farrell up to nearly 2.5 million. Back to the main stage. Creston Nielsen under the gun. He's got ace queen. And he raises to 77,000. Queen 6 offsuit, that'll go in the muck. Cristoforu's out. Perez on the button with Queen 4 will also fold. Pocket 9s for Tom Middleton.
Nielsen's only got 20 bigs.
All in.
Midi shoves on him. Action back on Nielsen.
And it's not the easiest spot for him.
Tough on this one.
It is tough. Ace-Queen is too strong to fold given his stack size. And something tells me the guy who bought that hat doesn't have a problem making tough decisions.
I call.
Nielsen calls. His tournament life is on the line. And it's a classic race.
Vamos, Pilas!
He either just said, let's get this, or let's go batteries. Not sure which one.
He's only 37% because 2 queens have been folded.
Kom nu med det, Ace. Send me back to heaven.
Well, that's a new approach. Just confuse the poker gods.
It's a low flop.
But if I had 2 9s, this flop would make me very rumbly in my tumbly. What with those deuce outs?
Ace on the turn!
For helvede, hvor er det lækkert, mand.
Blimey, you don't get that on Borgen.
I think I'm going to allow this celebration.
Midi needs a 9. It's a king. Big Toro doubles up again.
The weirdest part about the celebration, he doesn't even know that guy. Okay, but yeah, quit waiting for the award ceremony. Let's get back in there.
Preston Nielsen enjoying the experience here in Barcelona, but this is not his first rodeo.
I got the nickname Christian the Killer. Playing in Copenhagen, it was the EPT. I knocked out, it was 3 famous poker players first day. I had some good hands, good setups, and I knocked them out. And that's why. I'm a head chef at a big firm in Denmark. I've been there for almost 2 years. I'm wearing the shirt because I felt a special feeling about this Barcelona EPT. I had the name Mikael Laudrup on the back, and he always did very good things at the football field and his skills, and I admire him a lot, and I bought it for the sport and for the name, Barcelona. I was asking my brother-in-law to go buy a nice cap for me, and he texted me, and there was a picture of this cap, and I said, wow, it's nice, it's... Okay, let's go. This is gonna be my lucky hat. I had a special feeling, and actually I told my job at home there's a little adventure saying once upon a time there was a little chef going to Barcelona and he never came back. So we might not getting back, but I had a special feeling about this.
Well, if he pulls this face at the wrong guy, I'd say there's a pretty good chance he'll never make it back.
Tom Middleton being railed by Toby Lewis, who may have a stake in Mr. Middleton's action.
It's an absolutely great feeling to be this deep in a tournament and have your friends show up to rail you, I assume.
Blinds 20,000 and 40,000 with a 5,000 ante. Ace-Jack for Pasi Sormanen.
I like the way Posse peels his cards. It's like they're telling him a little story. Ace, Jack.
And from under the gun, he will raise. Makes it 80,000.
He's playing it great so far.
Action folded around to Tom Middleton. 9-10 suited on the button. He calls. Preston Nielsen has king-queen in the big blind. He calls as well. We're going 3-way to the flop.
Everyone's playing it great so far. Shame 2 of them have to lose.
Well, Middleton flops best. He's got top pair.
Check.
Nielsen checks.
Posse could continue or just check here, out of position to the guy with all the chips.
Check.
He does check.
And once Posse checks, Tom's probably going to feel as if he's got the best hand here a lot.
Into a pot of 290,000, he bets 175k. Nielsen folds.
Yeah, boy.
Sormanen check raises to 425,000.
We've seen Posse get a little check raise happy on the flop a few times this tournament.
You start with like 2.5.
Yeah, more or less.
And I'm not a huge fan of this check raise. In order to have top pair beat here, you have to be playing your hand terribly. Why would you ever not continue with a big hand?
Middleton calls.
Excellent call.
King of clubs on the turn.
Well, that's an overcard to Middleton's pair. Posse's picked up an actual draw now.
Looks like he'll continue his aggressive line. He bets 450,000.
That's defo a scare card for Tom. But this bet might look awfully bluffy.
450.
Middleton calls.
2 nice calls.
2 million in the middle. Solomon has 1.7 behind. 5 on the river. Middleton still with the best hand.
Is Posse gonna give up, or is he gonna run this bluff right off the rails?
I'm all.
He shoves!
Gotta give Posse credit, he has gone for it. And I think Tom's decision here rests mostly on the turn card. If Posse had been raising the flop with an airball, there's a pretty good chance the king hit him. Sure, he could have been check raising bottom pair, but I think like NASCAR, this is all about the turn. If the turn card were anything but Broadway, this bluff works never.
Good bluff.
Midi folds!
He's got to show the bluff.
I think so too.
Whoa, I would take a half a dozen Crest and Nielsen celebrations over one bluff slam the cards down.
You had ace-10, I knew it.
No, I never ace-10.
But you had 10, right?
Cool story, bro.
Pasi Sormanen is not a professional poker player. Hold'em for him is a hobby. And look at that motto, life should be a rock star experience.
So what we just saw is the equivalent of him smashing his guitar.
Over to the secondary feature table, where Kimo Kirko, the other Finn, has called Nicolau Villalobos' all-in.
Kirko's got the slight mathematical advantage, like pie over cake. Apple, pumpkin, meat, come on.
9's holding for now. Villalobos looking for an ace or a jack. Queen would do it now as well. 10 outs to hit on the river. It's a 9, a full house for Kirko, and Nicolau Villalobos exits the EPT Barcelona main event in 18th place.
Classy guy, or I'm gonna rub my bad luck on you, and you, and you. Nah, you're a classy guy. And you. Tournament director, yep, get him. Oh, and he's friends with Richard Keel.
And Kimo Kirko is now up to over 5.2 million. He is the new chip leader. His fellow countryman is in second place. Tom Middleton has fallen back into fourth. Lines are up to 25 and 50,000 with a 5,000 ante. Andreas Christoforou has raised under the gun with Queen Jack. Middy's got King Jack, and he calls from the cutoff. Pasi Sormanen is in the big blind. And he's got junk. He folds. Heads up to the flop.
Where's that flag from? Cyprus?
Correct.
Nice.
King 10-4, top pair for Middleton. Up and down straight draw for Christoforou. He doesn't continue, he checks.
Weird.
Middleton checks behind.
I think both of them probably should have bet, actually.
7 of diamonds on the turn, doesn't change anything. Now Christoforou bets. A delayed continuation bet of 120,000.
Tom's not folding.
He calls. The river. A deuce.
Now, bluffing this river may seem like a good idea, but I don't think it's going to work too often. After checking the flop, Christoforou's hand is way under-repped.
He does bluff. He bets 500,000.
Nothing's really come in, so for this to be a legit hand, it'd have to be some kind of weird, slow-played set on the flop, or 7s that got there on the turn, and that's about it.
You look a lot different to when you had King Queen versus Super Kid.
Super Kid is Lucas Berglund and not an actual child superhero. Disappointing, I know.
Ah, dear.
Who says, oh dear, I love this kid? Christoforou might actually get away with this.
500K.
Nope.
Just not a good run out for a hero bluff.
Middleton wins a big pot.
Nice call.
Cheers, bro.
Something tells me Prince Baron will not forget this.
Nah, come on, with hero calls like that, Tom Middleton will save every one of us.
Middy is back up, over 3.7 million. If you want to play in an EPT event, go to PokerStars.com, where there are qualifiers every day.
You know, Gowdy worked on this for more than 40 years. What happened to his death?
The car guy.
I said Gowdy, not Audi.
Guess that would explain the lack of cup holders.
Welcome back to the PokerStars.com EPT from Barcelona. During the break, we lost Alexei Kovalchuk in 17th place, and now we're down to 2 tables. After the redraw, we have a new Brit on the main stage, and Middleton is on the secondary feature table. Crazy session for him though, starting with that hand against Pasi Sormunen.
The Finnish guy opened under the gun, and I was on the button with 9-10 of hearts. We were both quite deep, so I decided to call and see a flop. Flop top pair, and both players checked me, so I bet to try and take it down to like protection and some value. The big blind folded, and the original razor check raised. At that point, I thought I probably had the best hand still. I decided to call and see what came on the turn. Well, the king is a bad card for me because obviously he could have king, queen, ace, king, all those sort of cards. But at the same time, I think if he's bluffing, he's going to continue with his bluff.
450.
But when it came down to 5, I thought that was a card that he isn't going to try bluff.
I'm all in.
It's really hard for him to have a value hand there. I was inclined to think he was bluffing, but at the same time, it's a lot of chips deep in the tournament. Like I can only beat him like losing his head, and that's what he had done, and I folded.
Good bluff.
I think so too.
I could still fold and have 2.8 million deep in an EPT, which is still a great shot. Whereas if I called and got it wrong, I'd have been shot and I'd have been gutted.
Even though he folded the winner, I think that's some really sound logic from Tom. Unlike why it's more expensive to fly one way than round trip. What up with that?
So we have 2 tables of 8. Midi's new table mates include Andreas Christoforou and Anaras Alekbarovas, and at the main feature table are both Finns. Pasi Sormunen is now the tournament boss, while Neil Farrell is the low man at the table. Blinds currently 30,000 and 60,000 with a 10,000 ante.
Aw, redraw. I just learned where everyone else's seats were. Like, who's this guy?
Neil Farrell, British guy.
Oh, right.
8-9 suited.
Looks like a Scottish assassin. Like the ginger dead man.
He is raising from under the gun. Makes it 125,000. Gets folds from Guri and Mur. 5-3 suited. Ricky Mokoko. He passes. Kristen Nielsen. Well, also muck.
Even folds with flair.
Emilio Jimenez gives up the button. Kolosov folds the small blind.
125. I call.
He defends.
Not the worst hand to defend, and in this case, we know he's the favorite.
Queen, Queen 9 on the flop. Both players pair their 9. Sormunen's kicker is best. Action goes check, check. 7 of spades on the turn.
Neil checked the flop to induce turn bluffs, but yeah, this isn't a bluff.
A value bet of 150,000.
Pretty clear-cut case for call and alliteration.
There is the call.
There's really not much Neil can do here except lose the minimum.
1 card to come. That card is the 2 of clubs.
Bad run out for the smaller 9. Posse can value bet this again.
225,000. And he doesn't like it. But he's going to go along with it.
Looks like it.
He calls.
I have 9.
I have a 9 as well.
Ah, your 9 must be better.
It isn't.
Nope.
That's a 7-figure pot for Sormunen.
Oh, Finland, you're hot. Hot like a Finnish sauna.
You know, I was fine with the excessive celebration, but when he starts taking my joke opportunities, Kristen Nielsen has gone too far.
Besides, Pasi isn't hot. He's as cool as a cucumber.
I've been lucky in life when it comes to money, and I have run a couple of businesses and I've sold them. And so basically I have the money to do whatever I want in life, and I'm really lucky about that. I run an MMA promotion. MMA is mixed martial arts. I have a co-owner which is ex-fighter, professional fighter, so we are a good team. I make the commercial deals and he deals everything with the sport. And I have 4 kids, small ones. 16, 4, 1 and 0. Baby boom right now. I have to give a thumbs up to my wife. It's a lot of work at home. I actually picked up the poker about 2006 in Las Vegas. After a couple of years I got some success and took it more seriously. I would say I have been playing like 2-3 years more seriously now. I was 15 in London main event. It was good. I'm not a pro player, but I play with top Finnish pros when I'm in Helsinki. So either you go broke or you improve. I haven't gone broke yet, so.
Let's get straight back to the feature table because Neil Farrell is all in, shoving over the top of Passie's raise.
How much?
Less than $1 million.
925.
Yeah, I have to take it. I don't like it.
Sormanen calls.
Ace 9. You let beat?
No.
Not good with Queen 10, like Hardigan in a pair of my pants, too loose.
I'm going nowhere near your underwear. So Farrell is a 57% favorite to double up. Sormanen does have 2 live cards, but that's a good flop for Neil. Ace high still good.
76% favorite now.
A 3 on the turn.
4 would be nice.
Not as nice as a queen or a 10.
The river card is a 10. Neil Farrell sent to the rail in 15th place.
All right. Good game, guys. Good luck. Fun playing with y'all. All the best.
So we're down to just one last Brit. All your chips belong to us.
And Sormanen extends his chip lead, now playing 6.5 million. Over to the secondary feature table where the last remaining Brit, our qualifier, Tom Middleton, is all in, racing against Anaris Alekbarovas. And he hits a 10 on the flop.
Gonna be tough for sevens to come back from that one.
The turn card gives us a sweat, it's a heart. There are now 11 cards Mitty has to fade on the river. That's not one of them. Instead, he rivers 2 pair and he gets the full double up.
It's just that time of the tournament. A bunch of these players are pretty short relative to the blind, so folks are just gonna be racing a lot until stacks consolidate.
Alekbarovas crippled after that all-in coup. Tom Middleton now playing around 3.2 million. Blinds are up to 50k, 100k with a 10k ante. And oh, look at this! Finns in sparkly hats. We've been here before.
They know this didn't work out too well for the Finns last year, right? The Belarusian won it. Pocket sevens for Creston Nielsen. Another player with interesting headwear. Arsi Sormanen in the small blind. That's A6. He lets that go. Benoit Guri is in the big blind. And he's got a better ace, ace-queen. Looks like we're going to see a 3-bet. Guri's played quite aggressively when he's chosen to enter pots. He re-raises to 500,000. Quick call from Nielsen. Heads up to the flop. And we got quads. Okay, that's a good flop. For Nielsen. Guri was the pre-flop aggressor. He continues with just ace high for 350,000. Firing stone dead. Oh, what is he doing?
You don't like me?
Telegraphing, I have a huge hand. How much?
350,000. Cool.
At least he waited for the answer before putting the chips in.
Guri's got to be seeing this, right?
Deuce of hearts on the turn. Obviously changes nothing. Guri slows down, he now checks.
Wisely. It will be amazing if he just snap folds to a bet here.
Nielsen does bet.
How much, please?
Well, he isn't insta-folding. Is he going to pay this off?
Signs point to yes. 2.5 million in the middle with 1 card to come. The irrelevant 10 of hearts.
Really shouldn't be too much trouble Guri can get into here. He's just got ace-queen high.
He checks a second time. And Nielsen is going to go for value. 755,000. Oh, wow.
I think without all Vince Vaughn's little baby games here, this is a fold. This isn't a wait 6 days and then call. This is a never call.
He deserves a Razzie for this performance. Oh my, Guri calls! Show him the quads!
4-1, mand. Er det lækkert af krise, eller hvad?
Vamos, El Toro!
Hvor er det sygt rigtig manege, den der, mand. Var det lækkert lavet, eller hvad?
I do like Creston, but I don't like seeing anyone go through this, even if they're French.
Sorry? Did you like the flop? I like the flop. Just go.
I'm probably gonna catch too much flack for this, but I don't hate this guy. He's like the Big Bang Theory, a little annoying, but I like him anyway.
Oh, I heart Big Toro. Back over to the secondary table, where Anaras Barovas is all in. He is in good shape. Ace-Queen against King-Jack.
Well, we knew this was coming.
Alejandro Perez does have live cards. The flop has a king on it and a jack. 2 pair for Perez. Alec Barovas with a gut shot. He needs a 10 to make a straight. And he'll need to hit that 10 to survive. No help on the turn. 1 card to come. No help on the river. And that means no back-to-back Barcelona final tables for Anaras Barovas, but very impressive to go deep in this tournament 2 years in a row.
Still gotta be devastating to him to go as far as 13th but not make the final table again. There's almost no way you're happy with that.
Perez gets it quietly.
And then there's this guy.
Contrasting emotions as we edge closer towards the final table of the EPT Barcelona main event.
James, when are they gonna finish it?
Well, the thing is, to fund the project, they rely 100% on donations.
Well, that's lucky because I have here a check for 850,000 euros.
Whoa. That is the check we presented to the winner of EPT Barcelona in Season 8. And, crucially, it's not a real check.
Yeah, but it's gotta be worth something. I'm gonna go find the donation box.
Welcome back inside the Gaudi suite at the PokerStars.com EPT Barcelona main event. 10 players remain, but we could be down to 9. Kolosov is at risk and dominated.
Huge moment for both of these guys. Creston's got statistics and a little heater on his side.
73% favorite with 5 cards to come. The flop is 2-3-4.
Put some chop possibilities out there, but still only 3 outs for Kolosov to win it outright.
He needs an 8 on the turn or river.
It's never easy in poker.
Nope.
3 of diamonds takes away one of Kolosov's outs.
En ruder til. Og så bare en ruder til. Bare en ruder til. Så lader han bare få hans ruder 8, mand.
There are a few more ways to chop, though.
The river card is the 9 of spades. Creston Nielsen eliminates Stefan Kolosov in 10th place.
The unofficial final table bubble. Pain, not the fun kind you pay someone for.
Kolosov will receive 65,600 euros for his 10th place finish. And we are down to 1 table of 9. As Kolosov collects his cash, we'll have the final redraw of the tournament.
Let's go, people. Use the racks. Don't put the chips in your pockets.
Remember, we still need to lose a player before we have our final table. But these are the last 9, headlined by British pro Tom Middleton. He's regained the chip lead. He's just ahead of Creston Nielsen, the other online qualifier who's still alive in the tournament. The 2 Finns are now set next to each other, very friendly. They're being railed by Joni Jokamainen, who made the final table of this event last year. Blinds are 60 and 120,000 with a 20k ante. Action on Creston Nielsen, Jack 8. He passes. Benoit Guri is out.
Everyone here has to be thrilled at the prospect of potentially making tomorrow's final table.
Andreas Christoforou on the button. He folds. Finn against Finn. King 3 for Kurko.
Just over 10 big blinds, you gotta do it.
all in. Pasi Sormanen in the big blind. Looks down at fives.
Call.
And he calls and puts Kimmo Kokko at risk.
Either way, someone in a hat is going to lose a crucial pot here.
The flop is 10-10 deuce. Decent flop for a pair of fives.
Jani Jääskeläinen started this whole hat tradition. To be honest, I thought it would have ended with him too.
King on the turn. Kokko takes the lead. He will double up and survive unless there is a 5 on the river.
In the river.
It's a jack, so we are still 9-handed. We do not yet have our final table.
Doesn't hurt Pasi too bad, but breathes life into Kirko's tournament that he needed in a big way. Yeah, buddy.
1 million.
The hat is working.
For one of them.
1,434,000. It's golden hat.
We first saw those sparkly hats in Barcelona last year. At the final table of the main event, Ilari Sahamias and Jani Jääskeläinen came back from the dinner break with sparkly hats and also some drinks, which may have contained alcohol and which may explain why neither of them won.
The moral of the story is that it didn't work then and it's not working now. You know why? Because hats aren't magic, and even if they were, magic isn't real.
I like hats, and because of that, we're going to sweat with Pasi Sormanen. Ace-Queen in the small blind.
We should raise.
It's Tom Middleton's big blind. There's the raise to 400,000.
I think we raised a little too much. I guess I should have been more specific. That's my bad, everybody. This one's on me.
Midi ain't folding. He defends.
I think Tom's gonna call fairly wide since we're both pretty deep. He's almost never just calling with a hand that's got us in bad shape, though.
Ace 10-8 with 2 diamonds. Top pair for Sormanen. And he doesn't continue, he checks.
Yeah, see, I'm more of a fan of betting there. We can get a lot of value from worse hands. But I didn't say bet fast enough, so again, I'm gonna take the blame for this one.
Midi check behind. 6 of clubs on the turn.
I don't think there's many times when Tom's missed this board completely, like almost never.
Sormanen now bets a delayed C-bet of 325,000.
Okay, now we're betting when the board gets more connected. Sweet. I'm not saying we shouldn't, but I wish we'd started sooner, which I admit, again, my fault. Stop harping on me about it.
Middleton calls. 7 of clubs on the river.
I was gonna say we could really only bet this river if it bricks, and this is not a brick.
Pasi checks.
Now we just have to check and guess. I think this card absolutely crushes Tom's range.
Tom is not checking behind. He bets 750,000.
Tom is a good player, which means for the most part, he's gonna check back most of his showdownable hands that don't beat ours and bet everything better. This is a spot where we're sometimes gonna get bluffed, but I think this is a fold.
Sormanen calls. Midi had ace-9. He rivered a straight.
Oh, sick.
I think that hand often plays out the same way, but maybe if we raise less, bet flop, check turn, maybe we lose less. Again, totally my fault. I'm sorry. How many times do you want me to say it?
Sormanen is bleeding chips right now.
Playing blind on blind against a good player is a nightmare, and I asked them not to do it to me in the sweat with hands, but nobody listens to me.
Middleton continues to build that stack, now playing 9.3 million. He's had a decent stack for this entire tournament, and right now he is being railed by a former EPT champion.
He's like my good friend from home. We play online a lot together, and we've known each other for years. He's very patient, and he's played probably the most amount of poker out of anybody left in the tournament. I've been having dinner with him every night and a couple of beers, and he's really chilled out. Looks promising.
Also, there's probably a pretty good chance Toby's got a piece of him. Let's be honest.
So we are still on the final table bubble. Only 8 players can return for day 6, the final day of the tournament, and compete for that trophy and that first prize of more than €1 million. Action has been folded around to the blinds. Alejandro Perez in the small.
Let's play.
Andreas Christoforou in the big.
Shorty versus shorty.
1.2 something.
Time to make like the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, and shift.
Perez shoves. And Christoforou calls all in!
Είναι μπροστά, έχω άσον 6, δάμε 7.
Christoforou's at risk.
Good luck, man.
But he's got the best hand. And you can hear the locals calling for a queen or a 7.
Very tense moment here. Nobody doesn't want to make the final table.
If Perez loses here, he'll be left with just 455,000. Ace on the flop! Christopherou set for a double up. Perez looks crushed. Still 2 cards to come.
And he can't go broke.
He could, of course, be drawing dead on the turn, but he isn't because it's a queen. He now has 5 outs. 5 cards Christopherou has to fade. It's a 5. Christopherou now playing 2.6 million.
I love that these guys aren't the biggest names we've ever heard of because it means so much more to them. The emotion's incredible.
And the last remaining local is now the serious short stack. Perez with less than $500,000. Well, Spain has produced 2 runners-up on the EPT, both of them in this event. Still no Spanish champion. Can Perez turn things around?
What do EPT final tables and the Sagrada Familia have in common? Spain can't get it done.
Action. Folded around to Creston Nielsen. He passes. Benoit Guri. He knows that Perez has fewer than 4 big blinds. With ace-10 of diamonds, looks like he'll raise. He makes it 245,000. Perez has got Queen-Jack, and he is all in.
He's due to come out on top of one of these.
The blinds. Both fold. It's back on Guri. And he calls, putting Perez at risk. Perez once again has live cards, but Guri is ahead. And he's a big favorite now with an ace on the flop.
Perez is going to need runner.
Just 3% equity. It's a 3, that's it. Perez bubbles the final table. Once again, the home nation denied the prospect of an EPT champion. We have our top 8.
This is going to be a fun final table. We've got experience, amateurs, Finnish people, a French guy, and one big Toro.
We hit the home.
We hit the home.
They've all locked up more than 100 grand. Tomorrow, they play for more than $1 million. Well, Big Toro will start day 6, second in chips, ahead of Benoit Guri. Both Finns and their hats will be back for the final. And once again, Tom Middleton will come into play as the chip leader, with a stack of close to 10 million.
I think having a chip lead is always a good position to be in. There's way more pressure on other people because they're playing for their tournament life all the time, whereas I can afford to take a couple of hits. I think I've got a pretty good chance going into tomorrow, got most of the chips, so yeah.
Next time, the dramatic conclusion of the main event.
Good luck.
Cheers, bro.
I'm all in. Uh-oh.
I'm confident. I'm playing the best that I ever did.
You still tight?
What was that all about?